I'm ahead of my time. I should drive a DeLorean. I can't wait to see they face when I'm bagging that foreign. You talking class? Niggas know I'm like a valedictorian. As far as knowledge, I'm really like a rapper historian. Can't believe they think they safe. Nah, this is PSA. You always rap about a bad, then we gon' check it. TSA went back to vegan, but I'm still scorching shit, forking shit. Cause everybody get the business like almost a corporate shit. I can't mingle with these niggas who done dropped the same single. Tryna stack, but I'm still eating.
Welcome to another episode of Respect My Mind. I'm your host, Rolando. With me, I have my co-host, Dom, Teflon Dom, and our special guest, K-Son.
Yes, sir.
We're waiting on Mark to tap in. He will be in probably a few. He'll be in shortly, but we like to start every episode off with a mental health check. So on a scale of 1 to 10, Dom, tap in.
I think I'm about at 6, probably at a 6.
6.
Yeah.
Want to elaborate on anything, or we're just gonna leave it at that?
Nah, it's nothing really. I would say it would be the root cause, man. I don't know. It's that time of the year, I guess, bro.
Got you. K-Son, tap in.
I got around a 8.
About an 8.
Yeah.
That's good. I think I'm about at an 8 myself, man. It's always
That's what's
hard.
up.
It's always hard to get to that 10, but you know.
Yeah.
We here. We want to welcome the audience. K-Son is an activist in our community. I'm gonna let him explain to everybody who he is, what he's doing, what he's pushing. But first thing I want to know, first thing I'm gonna ask you is, what's your story?
Well, I've always wanted to talk politics. You
Mhm.
know, I started doing football content first because I didn't know how to articulate myself with concise when it comes to politics. And if I didn't know how to articulate myself, if I couldn't understand myself, nobody else would be able to understand me.
Right.
So when I began to start reading, about NFL players, college football players, and then talking about their stories and what they've been through and what they got, what they did to get to the league, and debating stats, sorts of things like that, it led me to get better at talking about real issues, because when I started reading, I was able to find new words, because when you find the bigger your vocabulary, the easier it is for you to speak.
Right.
So when I began reading about Malcolm X, the Black Panther Party 10-point program, and then I read it's not about Black history, but I did read a manifesto. It's the Communist Manifesto, Karl Marx Communist Manifesto. And it led me to see what's going on around the world. It helped me understand the world a lot better. So that's where it got me to the point to talk about politics and everything like that. I've always wanted to talk about it. I just didn't know how to explain myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how old are you? You seem pretty young, but pretty bright at the same time too.
I just turned 22.
Man.
You're ahead of your years, young man. I tell you that.
I appreciate that.
You're ahead of your years, and me as an older Black man, I appreciate everything you're doing. And all I can do is tell you, keep pushing. I'm gonna support you from here on out. Dom just made us aware of you last week. I'm gonna check out more of your content and make sure I'm sharing and help push your message across.
I appreciate that.
No problem. So, what's kind of some
Definitely.
of your advice for let's say people around your age, the youth?
I feel like it's my only advice is to start reading, start doing some research and everything like that, because once you're able to do research, you'll be able to be intellectually aware of what's going on. And once you're aware of what's going on and everything like that, your brain will start to function on what you need to do and ideas what ideas should be out there to make the world a better place. And so my only advice is to start reading and start educating yourself, because that's how I got to where I am as of right now.
Got you. You feel like it's any pressure on you with what you're doing? Like, do you put extra pressure on yourself to like get your message across? Like, how do you take pressure?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of pressure because I don't know if you guys were aware that TikTok shifted their algorithm a little bit.
Right.
You know, because I think it was a deal that was made with China and the United States as well, and Israel was part of it. And me being a well, I would say that I'm pro-Palestinian. I'm anti-oppression.
Right.
You know, um, with my stance or with the message that I put out there, I knew that I would be facing a lot of pressure. You will have some people mass reporting your page. You don't know when you will just like that you'll get removed off the app. So there's a lot of pressure. I just stay calm, and I just stay prepared with the backup account. So I made a backup account that has 1,000 followers. So I just stay prepared. That's how I face the pressures, by staying prepared.
Pretty
So
smart. Backup plan.
that that backlash you face, which I'm pretty sure we know from a certain group of people.
Yeah.
Uh, how do you go about in response? Like I'm pretty sure somebody somebody with the knowledge and intellect that you have. I know you don't stoop to the level. So how do you respond?
Like, as for if I'm debating somebody,
Right.
always bring facts. That's how I respond. And with the Trump supporter, I already know that I have the uphill battle because
Right.
with the Trump supporter, with Trump supporters, conservatives, or anybody on the right, they'll be playing defense the majority of the time.
Correct.
I'm on offense. So um, that's basically how I respond. But somebody that's on my level, say it's like a liberal, um, I'll have to, be sure I bring facts, because with the liberals, I'll be on defense on the side of it aisle too, because um, when it comes to the left, we all have really good ideas, but at the same time, you have socialists that want to dismantle the system. That's where I am. I'm a socialist that
Can
that also believes in Marxism as well, Black Marxism, though, like the ideology from the Black Panther Party.
Hmm.
So when it comes to response, I just uh, be sure that I'm prepared to give the facts. Because if you give facts, then you'll be very listenable.
can you define the left for the audience?
Um, I would say somebody that's, well, to me, well, I don't think the liberal is a leftist, because they're not really anti-capitalist. But if you're like anti-capitalist, anti-imperialism, um, anti-oppression,
Hmm.
anti-colonialism, anti-white supremacy, then yeah, you're a leftist. Like those five things, that's what makes you a left. That's what the left is.
It's called reading. Yeah.
Yeah, I just hate when they put that. Well, of course, that orange dude. He kills me when he puts that radical in front of it.
Yeah,
Like trying to make us sound. And that's the thing. They always try to put a stigma or
right, right,
stereotype on us, or they want to say the radical left. I
right.
mean, there's so much you could put in front of the word right when it comes to them, but
Mm. So what's your message though? Like, I heard you say when you pushing your message earlier, but like, can you break it down? Like, like what you feel your purpose is, and
well,
what's your message?
before he answers that, so
Oh,
like, was there a specific event or something that happened that made you shift gears and made you get into this, whole politic black liberals thing?
Yeah, yeah, of course. It was the year that I was graduating high school in May of 2022. It was May 14th. It was on a Saturday, and I opened my phone, and I seen there was a active shooter that was in Buffalo, New York.
yeah.
I'm sure that you guys heard
I
about
remember
that.
that. I
Yeah,
remember that.
it was that day uh, that I saw that a white supremacist was actively,
Hmm.
he shot 13 black elderly people. He killed 10 of them,
Right.
unfortunately. And then I would see how the right would react to it.
Hmm.
They would be like that he's mentally ill. Like none of y'all gonna say
Yeah.
that this is a hate
Yeah.
crime. Like this is
Yeah.
a hate crime. Y'all say y'all calling this dude mentally ill. He's not mentally
Hmm.
ill enough to kill black people.
Hmm.
Like he's just racist. And I seen how he was radicalized when more stories came out. He was influenced by the great replacement theory. That's a false myth that white supremacists read, like the Nazis, Proud
Right.
Boys, what else group reads it, the Klan, the skinheads, they all read that group, they all
Hmm.
read that theory. And it's a false theory that falsely says that uh, white people are being replaced by immigrants by the Democratic Party. That's the stuff that they believe, and they have some things about black people. They describe how violent we are. All these stereotypes about black people, and that's how he was influenced. And then I would see who endorsed the Great Replacement theory. Charlie Kirk endorsed the Great Replacement
Hmm.
theory. Tucker Carlson endorsed the Great
Hmm.
Replacement theory, and then you got the Vice President who endorsed the Great Replacement theory, J.D. Vance as well. So I feel like
Hmm.
that is a message that the Democrats should run on too when
Right.
they get ready to campaign against J.D. Vance, because he's a very dangerous. I believe he's more dangerous than Trump.
Of
Mm.
course.
And so that's how I got radicalized, because I would see how they would downplay racism. If they're going to continue
Yep.
to downplay, I feel like that we should move into a position to where it's punishable if
Yep.
you're a racist individual. Like the reason why they can be so bluntly racist right now is because they are protected by the First Amendment.
Yep.
I feel like there should be some change. I like the First Amendment. I feel like that it's important to know who your enemies are, but at the same time, when it gets to a certain level, there should be some
Boundaries
consequences.
and restrictions, something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, our other co-host, Big Mark, he stated one time we were debating. I mean, not debating, but we were going over a topic,
Hmm.
and he said that this is not meant for us.
Yeah.
Right.
Being here, being living under this constitution and all these things. Like, of course, any man would know, any black man who's uh read and done his homework would see that all the rules and regulations and everything that was put in place wasn't for us.
Right.
It was never meant for us to prosper. It was meant for us to not rise above, but to stay, below status quo with everything that they put in place. So, um, I think for me, it took me a long time to realize any of those things and to do my own research and see, what was really going on. But I wish I had done it, when I was younger,
Hmm.
especially, around your age, being that young and being that, you know, politically intelligent, man. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely is. Definitely is. So how was your like upbringing and stuff? I want to know, like, you seem like you come from a good family. I mean, I don't
I
know,
do.
but
Yeah.
for you to
Yeah.
like be beyond your years at this age, I kind of want to dig into your youth when you were younger. You're young, but your younger age is like kids or teenage. How was that?
It was I had a pretty good childhood. My parents stayed together. They took care of me when I needed them to. They always did. They still are too. Of course, mom's gonna be there all the time.
Yeah,
Right.
So yeah, I'm very blessed to have some uh,
two parent household. That's
God
great.
given parents and stuff like that, because not everybody has that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that you should take in every moment you get with them and stuff like that. And then the schools I went, I'm not from the hood. I was born and raised in the suburbs, But I did go around that area on the other side of town when it comes to visiting grandma, aunties, stuff like that. And then uh, with the school that I went to, it was pretty nice. You know, the education was great, but that's because it had the funding. You
Yeah.
know, when I
Hmm.
went to the other side of the town, I would look at these other schools because I would play football too. You know,
Yeah, you play
when we
sports.
would, yeah, when we would play predominantly black schools, um, I would see how their bathrooms look, and then I would see how ours look and their bathroom. It's not that they're disgusting; it's just that they don't have the funding that my
Right.
school
Hmm.
has.
Kind of
Because you
pisses
know,
you off.
yeah, it did. It made me mad a lot. You know, because this just shows this is the perfect example of systemic racism and systemic inequality when it comes to race.
Thank
Be-
you.
yeah.
Mhm.
So um, it would be the same thing with the books because they wouldn't have the books that we had,
Hmm.
the gyms, stuff like that. So and then when it comes to the housing too,
Yeah.
they will be more funded and stuff like that. So it's basically just systemic inequality when I would be able to go to the school that I went to, and I would be able to see how they schools were, and it was just that, man, and that's what also led me to talk about things that I talk about now.
The same way when you go in the certain neighborhoods, you got a liquor store on a liquor store on the corner and a daiquiri store on the other corner.
Right,
You
and
know,
and and the thing is, out here where I'm at, we don't have that many liquor stores or dining stores and stuff like
Hmm.
that, you know,
where you
and we
from?
don't, and we don't. I'm Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Hmm.
Where?
Yep,
Tennessee, Chattanooga.
Oh, Chattanooga. Oh, I
yeah,
don't
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
know. Okay, so but it's not like that over there. Well, where you stay?
Yeah, yeah, it's not. But when I go on the other side of the town, it is. You know, you will have liquor
Yeah.
stores and stuff like corner stores.
Like basically put all the toxins, keep them,
Yeah,
keep them, keep them at bay. Basically,
yeah,
like they
yeah,
can, they
and
can
then
destroy the.
also, and then also, the hypocritical part about this whole thing is that I would see cameras on every pole. It's a police camera because it has like this blue light that's flashing every single
Hmm.
5 seconds. You know, you would have these cameras on every single pole, but you won't have cameras over here because like, and this is also another example how you could see how that the black community is over police. You know,
Right.
and then you look at neighborhoods, other neighborhoods like the suburban area, they don't, the police is not there when they need to be there.
Hmm.
Like, if you want me to be honest with you, we have some the amount of threats that we got, like bomb threats, um shooting threats at the schools and stuff, the police wouldn't be there. But say if it happened to Brainerd, because Brainerd here is a predominantly black school,
Hmm.
like they would be out there deep.
Ready
But
to
since it's at a white school that I went to, predominantly a white school, they weren't out there deep. And
basically like nothing gonna happen there.
right, right. So they would downplay those threats, but if say for instance if a threat happened over there in Brainerd, it wouldn't be out there. And plus, the school that I went to, it had a lot more problems because it had vaping problems, drug problems.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
people had their
Surprise!
guns.
So,
People had their guns in their cars, and like I would see how they had a metal detector in Brainerd High School, but they didn't have a metal detector in my high school.
Hmm.
That it's a very hypocritical thing that the city does, well, the government really, because
man, entitling the active shooters because if you look at
yeah,
the majority of active shooters, I'm not racist, but
yeah,
they ain't black. You
right,
know, so
yeah, they're white
No.
perpetrators for
I
sure.
think
Yep.
I think that's like an effect that they cause when they like you just explained it perfectly. Like there are no restrictions at predominantly white schools.
Mm-mm.
So
Correct.
they feel like you already feel like you're invincible. Feel like you can do whatever you want to do, and then
Right.
once you get into the real world, and you have this certain mindset that you were raised like, that's what creates those crazy people as active shooters. It didn't start all of a sudden when they were adults. It started from childhood on up. You know, the freedom, the that's just how I feel. I could be wrong, but I try to look deep into it a little bit. Like it's more to
Right.
it than what they tell you about active shooters.
Hmm.
And it's like every time it's an active shooter, it's like not much of a story to me. But when there's a black on black crime, they could tell you their address. They could tell you that they could tell you everything about that black man. You know,
Right.
but certain active shooters, they're not really breaking nothing down. They'll tell you one thing that probably happened in their life, and they'll try to use that as the reason why they are like that, or why
Right.
they what could be the reason they even went their way. But I ain't buying it. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, and one of the funniest, probably one of the funniest things that I've heard and being involved in that is um when what was his name? Dylan Roof.
Yes.
He went in that church. That was in Tennessee, correct?
No, it
Well,
was in South Carolina.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Um went in the church and went into a black church and shot those black people.
Yep.
Uh they took him to Burger King
Yep.
after they arrested him because he said he was hungry.
Yep.
This man just murdered innocent people.
Yep. I was
And you
11 years
st-
old at
and
the
on
time.
and you stopped and bought him out of your own pocket. You stopped and bought him Burger King.
Right. Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
wild.
I mean that right there speaks for itself. I mean, had that been a black man, he wouldn't even got a drink of water.
Right.
Well, I probably would have got the shit beat out of him too.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, it's
Yeah.
crazy. If a black man had went into a white church and killed innocent people, it wouldn't have been no stop. It'd have been
Yeah.
straight to the jailhouse.
Right.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man.
Yep. I was
I
11
have a
years old at
question.
the time.
Do you
Oh,
feel?
Big
I
Mo got
guess
a question.
this this for you, Kay. Do you feel you're fighting a hopeless fight?
No, not at all. Because I like with Gen Z. I don't know if y'all seen the polling, but Gen Z is waking up to what America really is,
Hmm.
and they are also waking up to what Christianity, the westernized version of Christianity. Because I always want to be specific when I'm talking about Christianity, because I'm a Christian too. But
Right.
this westernized version of Christianity that was a colonial Christian, that's a colonial religion that's been forced on to people like us,
Hmm.
during slavery, and they're waking up to how hypocritical it is and how these pastors are very hypocritical.
Hmm.
It's like almost every week these pastors be um touching kids. I want to be careful how I say it on here, because I don't want to
Yeah.
you know
Nah,
um
you.
flag
Or
y'all.
they just getting exposed. Period.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with the young people that are waking up, including myself, I don't feel hopeless at all, because I'm organizing with a lot of people here where I live at. I don't know if you guys heard of the Party for Socialism and Liberation. That's a organization. It's a far left organization that be organizing, getting people registered to vote. That's what I did last week.
Right. I
Um,
remember that.
yeah, we registered people to vote at the New Kings protests,
Hmm.
and we also did it the week before that at a Palestinian protest that we were at. So I I don't feel hopeless at all. I feel like that if we stay on track and stay organized, then there's a lot that can come about. You know, if you see how the right, organize, MAGA, they organize in their local elections. I
Yep.
feel, and if the left starts to do that, we'll win, because the left is morally, and they have better idea. They are morally superior, and they have better ideas than the right. So I don't feel hopeless at all.
Right.
But I will admit that um, I did feel hopeless last year in November. When Harris lost that election.
Mhm.
Mm.
But like when she said that the fight is not over. The fight's not over. You still got some hope. A lot. You still got a lot of hope left. So
So how's your support system? Like, do you get a lot of support from family, or is it mainly the support from the outside? How does that work? 'Cause I've
well,
noticed a lot of my support comes from the
it wasn't
outside.
it wasn't great. It wasn't with my family. It wasn't great at first, but they starting to love it now because a lot of people are starting to love my channel and how they react to my channel. Because of course, mom's gonna be overprotective.
Yeah, yeah,
She was
fair.
like, "Son, you gotta be careful what you be saying on there." I'll be
Right.
like, "Mom, I got it. I got it. I'll be safe. I'll be careful." So the support system with mom wasn't great at first, but it's got a lot better. With dad, it's always been there.
Yeah.
My
I,
sisters, it's always been there.
I was speaking outside of like immediate family, like the rest of your family, like, cause I've kind of noticed like your immediate family gonna be there most of the time,
Yeah.
hopefully anyway. But like it's like other people are like they don't see the vision, as I would say, and then
Hmm.
it's kind of like now you want to agree with me and be on the same page with me and support me after I done blew up hypothetically. Like
Hmm.
have you ran across that as far as like with the with, I think I seen 21,000 on your page or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like now, okay. I hope you can tell the difference between those type of people, whether it's family or friends or outsiders that didn't believe at first, and then once you got notoriety, they chose to support them. Those same people, in my opinion, will be the people you need to make sure you feed with a long-handed silver spoon.
Right. I haven't had that with family and friends, but I did have that with acquaintances. That's what I call them. Like
Yeah,
Hmm.
these white conservatives, or white moderates. They would be like, you're wasting your time. You could be spending your time on something else and stuff like that. And it was like, no, I got a message to share, and they did doubt me at first, and luckily, I already see how they are, with the
Right.
white moderate and especially the white conservative. And the white moderate, they be hypocritical. I don't know if you guys heard of the quote from Malcolm X. It be talking about how the white liberal is very hypocritical. They be pretending that they're your friend, but they're really
Hmm.
not. So I did have be in that I was in that situation with acquaintances, but other than that, with family and friends, I wasn't in there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
You got something?
So do you
Oh
huh?
no, I messed around and hit the
Oh,
wrong picture.
so do you have any, I don't want to call it fear, but like do you think like when you go out in public or when you go to these events or when you do
Yeah,
things like, is it in the back of your mind, that maybe something can happen, or you know,
retaliate.
do you keep your head on a swivel? Because you may think that people, may not be listening, but of course we know with those white terrorists,
Hmm.
they'll do anything to stop anybody.
Hmm.
But is that, do you think about those things in the back of your mind, when you're out in public or doing events or anything like that?
Yeah, I do sometimes, but not all the time, because if I think about it too much, I would begin to scare myself.
Right.
And then, especially when I'm out in public, when I'm doing public events, like, you don't know whether if I'm speaking out in public, if I scare myself, then I would start to stutter a lot, and then, a lot of people be asking, "Well, what's wrong with him?" So, I think about it sometimes, but I also remember that uh, when it came to the ballot and the bullet speech from Malcolm X,
Hmm.
he said that if you be preaching about freedom and you don't be putting your work to where your mouth is. Like, say if you're
Mm,
not active, like fighting for freedom, then you should be
Right.
like, if you're not ready to die for freedom, then the word shouldn't be in your vocabulary.
Right.
So I do think about it sometimes, but not too much. But at the same
yeah.
time, I do know that I am protected because my cousin, he is a officer here.
Hmm.
Oh,
So yeah, he be protecting me and stuff like that. He be having to where he knows where I am, and he be close out and about because he's a lieutenant. He can go everywhere around the city. So
Hmm.
if I tell him that, hey, I'm going to this event, or if I'm going to that event where it's on the other side of the town, he'll be over there. He'll be
Mm.
nearby, but he won't be like right by my side, but he'll be nearby.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's how it should be. So nobody will be able to put a face on them.
right.
Yeah. Got another question. Do you believe the Black Lives Matter scandal stagnated change or put a stain on black activists for lack of better words?
Um, I do. I At first I did believe that it did put a stain on the black community. Well, it did, to be honest with you, because the activists that was in that organization, they let white liberals infiltrate the movement, and
Yeah.
Hmm.
it kind of softened the message, and the message should have been harder than what it was after the election in 2020. So I feel like after the election in 2020, after Biden won, BLM has begun to go pretty soft,
Mm.
and that's because the movement was infiltrated by liberals. It was funded by billionaires, the oligarchs, and stuff like that, and they'll do that whether it's on the right or the left. They'll infiltrate these big movements. And I did believe that it did put a stain on the black community a little bit, but at the same time, it has woken a lot of young people up because that was a big movement in 2020 that woke a lot of people up well, worldwide too, not just here, because they will still see how racism is still very much alive in the United States.
That's
Right.
true.
Yeah, so I would say that it did put a stain on us, but not too much.
Yeah, I think it put a stain on it to the point to where, other than, I mean, you have little small activists probably in every state, city, community, but as far as having one that, just unites everything and everybody, I don't
Hmm.
think we have that, especially now with especially now with Black Lives Matter, especially, of course, like we said, after the scandal. Um, but I would like to see something else form and take shape. And I think that's probably another thing where we're lacking it. And then at the same time, like we always talk about, do you think that black people can coexist to even put a movement like that together right now?
Whew.
Yeah, yeah, I do. It got to come with education, though.
Yeah.
You just got to educate ourselves, and once we educate ourselves, and black people would be able to start a movement. Because where I'm at, there is a young Black Panther Party here. You
Oh,
know, and they
Mm.
started reading. They read Marx. They read the Black Panther Party 10-point program. They read the autobiography of Malcolm X, the autobiography of Assata Shakur, who was also in Black liberation movements,
Right.
and Angela Davis as well, who was also in Black liberation movements. So yeah, we can actually form another movement. Just have to bring education and start building coalition with other groups such as Hispanics, because I feel like
mm,
that's another area that we're lacking too. We don't have coalition with
Hmm.
Hispanics
yeah.
that the way it should be, But at the same time, it's not that Hispanics and Black people don't want to get along. It's the government whispering in Black people ear, hey, that Hispanic is taking your job, and then they're
Facts.
whispering in the Hispanic ear that Black people are violent. You don't want to be around Black people. So it got to come with education to be able to function another movement. For example, like the civil rights movement, and that because that came with education as well and awareness. You got to be politically aware politically educated to be able to form movements. So I do believe that we can start movements again.
I like that answer. I think one thing I wanted to add though, it got to be the right black people. Same way with every other race, like
Hmm.
even white people, Asian people. You know, you got those certain few in certain races that you just know they not
Right,
gonna get it. You just
right,
leave them there.
right.
You
And well, I also just thought about this. It just clicked in my mind. You see how the Black Hebrew Israelites they are organized.
Hmm.
I'm not a Black Hebrew Israelite fan because they leave Africa out of the picture when it comes to the that chart, that 12 tribes chart. You know,
Yeah.
know.
my granddad, he's a Black Hebrew Israelite,
Mm.
and he'd be like, "Those are your people right there." But I don't be arguing with him though because I don't feel like because if I get into a debate with my granddad, I'm gonna be there for 5 hours.
Yeah.
So so yeah, Black people can start movements again. You can see the blueprint how the Black Hebrew Israelites got started, and it got started with education.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't like the Black Hebrew Israelites. I think I think they're a pretty good group of people, But when you leave Africa out,
Yeah.
that's basically you're leaving the motherland out of it.
Yeah.
There is one that he comes and chimes in every now and then. I'm surprised he isn't on here now. But it is one. But one thing I don't agree with is the aggressiveness of
Yeah,
the Hebrew Israelites. You know, they're
yeah,
so aggressive and so. I don't think. I don't understand why they're like that. I understand it's called being straightforward and blunt because I feel like I'm a very straightforward and blunt person. But at the
hmm
same time, it's the tone of your message, and like not giving a damn if it runs across people or not. I feel like you're defeating the purpose of even sending a message,
Hmm.
right.
So that's one thing I don't like about them. But they do have great points in my
hmm
mind. I ain't gonna lie, a lot of stuff that they say, I can't
It
see
just
why.
makes you shake your head. I know.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't see why I should agree with it. And it's like they try to force you to agree with them or like, but what would it be? What is it called? It's like they're like, if you don't agree with us, then you like you being reprimanded or something. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, I guess it is what it is. You don't gotta mess. You don't gotta talk to me or socialize with me at all. You just don't talk. And the way they degrade women, I if
Yeah.
it's not the right type of woman, like the black woman that
Hmm.
worships the man and all this and that, or whatever they go by, I just don't agree with the way they send that message. I get the point. There's some things about like a man providing for a woman and a woman being submissive to the man. I get
Hmm.
all. I know that, but if a woman backlashes against that and basically saying she's an independent woman,
Right.
she now is a hoe. And I'm like, I don't get that, man. I just don't agree with
Right.
it unless
Yeah.
unless those type of Hebrew Israelites or false Hebrew Israelites. But I can't. I don't know because I'm not educated enough on Hebrew Israelites to be honest.
Well, there's multiple camps. The one that I'm really talking about is is Israel United in Christ.
Mm.
That's the one that I'd be paying attention
Real
to the most.
real
'Cause-
organization.
Yeah, because they are organized, and that
Yeah.
just lets me know that Black people can organize too. They just gotta have the education. And I
And the right
believe that I feel like that the Hebrew Israelites they can get involved with this stuff too, but at the same time they're like leave it up to God.
Yeah. I
yeah.
think I
Yeah,
think,
that's another thing that I disagree with.
Some
yeah,
people
they're more of pushing their own agenda,
Hmm.
than anything else.
Hmm.
they just gotta have the right leaders too.
Yeah.
Someone that you can actually follow and believe in and actually draw more people in. I guess I don't
Hmm.
know the right word for that, but the comment says some feel women don't have rights or a voice. Yeah, that's stupid. I don't know. I don't even want to keep elaborating on them. But I would have to look into the organization. Can you say the organization name again?
It's Israel United in Christ.
Israel United in Christ. I'm gonna
Yeah,
look it up for sure.
yeah, and they are not pro-Israel like the state over there in Israel on the Middle East. They are not
Hmm.
pro-Israel at all. That's how they got labeled as anti-Semitic. And what
Hmm.
they be saying, it's not anti-Semitic. It's just the truth. And Kyrie Irving in 2020, he got in trouble for
Yeah.
Yep.
sharing one of their links.
Yeah.
You know, it was one of the Black Hebrew Israelites links, and he got in trouble for sharing it. And it was just the truth. You
Hmm.
know, and
And
he
it's
almost
the link
ended his
that
career
Jeff
for it.
Bezos, the same link that Jeff Bezos shared.
Yeah,
Of course, because we,
And that's
bec-
Jeff Bezos.
yeah, because a black man is not allowed to, you know, because okay, the position that he's in, the platform that he has, and the stage that he has,
right.
it was one of them things. Hold on, we don't need you to educate people. We just need you to bounce a ball and put it in
Shut
the
up,
hoop.
dribble.
Yeah. So that it was more of that, and then they really made a big deal. Oh well, the owner is of a what was the owner? I forgot his name. Was it
Of a book.
Josiah? The
I
owner
forgot
of
his name.
the Brooklyn Nets. I think his name was Josiah or something like that.
Yeah, it's one of
Uh,
those.
then they wanted to bring that dynamic into it. Well, the owner is of that, of that descent, and you posting a link like that, but it doesn't matter if it's the truth,
Right,
Right.
and that's what kills me when they try to shield or try to block the truth.
right. Yeah, and when Kyrie Irving shared a link to a documentary, he didn't hurt anyone, you know. He
No,
didn't threaten anyone, he didn't commit a hate crime. But the ADL, have you ever heard of the ADL?
no.
No.
ADL is a Jewish committee website. It be
Mm-hmm.
speaking about hate crimes and be
Mm-hmm.
condemning hate crimes, hate
Mm-hmm.
talking points, stuff like that. But what's hypocritical about them when Elon Musk sat up there and did the siege Heil,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't condemn him at all. But when it
No.
came to Kyrie Irving,
Mm-hmm.
they declared war on Kyrie Irving,
Mm-hmm.
like Kyrie Irving declared war on an entire group of people.
Right.
And Kyrie Irving didn't make a hateful statement. He just
Mm-mm.
shared a link. That's all he
Mm-hmm.
did.
They were
But at the
trying to
same,
be
yeah, yep, it has some racial things in there.
But that's the thing, and it's crazy still today, to this day. And the questions and the elephant in the room is always, being put down that why is it that we can't offend any other nation? I mean, any other nation, nationality,
Right.
race, anybody else. You see the commercials about the Asian hate.
Hmm.
Uh, of course, oh my goodness, if you say anything about the Jews, but when it comes to us and our people,
Yep. We don't got those kind of laws. We don't got a hate crime protection law.
it's okay to disrespect us. It's okay to put us down. It's okay to stomp on us and hurt our feelings.
Right.
Because if I posted a link to a whole slavery, something about slavery,
Hmm.
Mhm.
it'd probably get overlooked. A lot of people wouldn't even click it.
They will. But if you post something
But if
about
I posted a link like what Kyrie did about that,
Hmm.
look out. You
Right.
got the whole world coming down on your head.
or if you post a twerk video,
Yeah.
Yeah.
shit like that. You know. Comment. Mark says reviewed as entertainers first and only. I
Yep.
agree. I agree because most black people we know are entertainers. You know, well, famous black people are entertainers. I mean,
Right.
you got a lot. I was looking up billionaires, right? Not too long ago.
Hmm.
One of the richest billionaires there is black, but it's like you'll never know because he's not publicized. I can't think his
Hmm.
name for nothing, but it's an older black man, but he's one of the richest people in the world, and you don't even hear him. You don't see him on any media at all. But
Right.
you'll see like Elon, Trump, black people that's billionaires, entertainers. You'll see them like
Yeah,
Jay,
they show you the entertainers.
yeah,
Right.
Jay Z, Beyonce, Kanye. You see it like that, but it's like I don't get it, man. Sometimes it do feel like what Mark was saying, like a hopeless fight. Like sometimes when I look at what we do here, as far as just like this mental health push that we're on, especially within the black man community,
Hmm.
sometimes we're on here, man. No lie, we, the way our stream is set up, you can see who actually is watching, even if
Hmm.
they're not clicking on it. The views are always outnumbering the actual activity inside of the stream, and it trips me out that like it's our own people because most of our followers are our people.
Hmm.
You're watching from the outside, but won't click on it, won't interact, won't react, won't even get involved in nothing we're talking about or pushing, and it pisses me off sometimes. But at the same time, I'm thinking in my head, as long as you're watching, as long as
Right.
you, I mean, we still getting the message across, but it's our people.
Hmm.
Definitely.
Comment. We don't get the second chances as other one mistake or hiccup and they publicly tear us down to the ground.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
One
That's
hundred
what.
percent. One
One of the
hundred percent.
one of the last things I want to ask you, what are some of your upcoming projects and where will they be if you have any at all, or like how can another and then followed by your platform names because I know is it case on 4K across all platforms.
Yeah. It's Case on 4K underscore on TikTok and Instagram.
Okay. And
Yep.
you have any projects? You got anything anywhere where you're going to be speaking, or you're just going to be there supporting?
Well, as of right now, I'm doing it digitally, but
Yeah.
uh, as soon as I finish school and everything like that, because I'm about to graduate college here coming December, so
Hmm.
Congratulations.
I'll be graduating early. You know, I won't be waiting until May.
What's your what are you graduating for?
It's electrical tech.
Electrical
Okay.
tech. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good field. That's a great field.
Yep. Yep.
They don't do shit, but it's a great field. I was just playing.
Yeah.
I was just messing
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
Uh,
So as soon as I get done with school, um, I want to go to these poverty neighborhoods and
mm,
speak to people there.
mhm.
And I had this one person that was telling me when I brought this up, and they'd be like, you'll be running in some gang members and stuff like that. And I'm not involved in no street activity,
Yeah.
stuff
Hmm.
like that. I feel like that if you come knowing what you're talking about, because at the same time, black people around that area, they do not mess with fake people.
Hmm.
So you're gonna have to be real about it. So uh, those are one of my projects. I want to get them politically active, educated, and because once you get them politically educated, they'll go to their family and talk about it. And then once we're all organized here, then they'll just spread. So that's one of my main focuses is right now is just going into these poverty neighborhoods and speak.
Oh, put that. Oh, it went off, bro.
Uh-oh. My bad. Any books,
And
documents you recommend someone speaking information or knowledge?
Yeah, I like the autobiography of Malcolm X. That is my favorite book. And
Mm,
then I like the 1619 project. Have y'all heard of that one?
16,
I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, 1619. That book is actually banned.
16, 19. Put this in
Yeah,
the,
yeah. Let me see. Where's my phone? Oh, there it is.
is it 16 colon 19 or is it just 16,
16.
19? I don't know why that one.
Yep, the 1619 project. A new origin story. That's what it is.
Mm.
A new origin story.
All right, 16, 19. Say it again, my bad. 16, 19.
That's what it looked like.
16. Oh, the 1619 project. Oh,
Yeah,
it's on Hulu.
yeah. It's a
Uh, there's a, I think it's an actual book in it.
yeah, it's a book.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's probably in audio on Hulu, huh? I
probably.
I like audio
He's
books for some
he
reason.
said it was banned, but I mean, you can probably look for it.
I got a website I can look up anything on anyway. Guhara. It's probably on there. It's a movie thing, but they have like if it's on Hulu, it's on Guhara for sure.
Mm.
Yep. So yeah, books like that, and then you also have the Revolutionary Suicide by Huey P. Newton. That book,
Mm.
and then Black Marxism is a good book, and then We Want Freedom is another good book. So those are books that I've read so far. I haven't really read 1619, the 1619 project all the way because it is a very big book. But the rest of the books I have read,
Okay.
and then also I did read Tyranny. It's a small book. It explains how the government becomes authoritarianism and stuff like that, and it also
Mm.
explained to how Hitler started his regime, and
Hmm.
he didn't start it by himself. A lot of people act like that he started by himself, but billionaires helped him get into that, not billionaires, but the rich helped him get into that position. Because I wouldn't call them billionaires, because I wouldn't even be sure if they were billionaires, because it's a different time around that time, but it was the
Yeah.
rich, the elites, that helped him get into that position. And that's what the book Tyranny talked about. And we also seeing it here right now, how these elites bought Donald Trump's way into office.
Of course.
Elon Musk spent $220 million, I think, on
Just
on this election.
just to start disagreeing with them.
Yeah,
Isn't
Hmm.
that crazy? Like now they're like enemies. I'm like,
yeah,
you helped you helped hate make this happen twice. You know, it's like, and now
yeah,
Of
you let
course.
and now you knew all the secrets and you're trying to expose everything. I'm like, y'all playing in our face at this point. You know,
right,
basically showing us how y'all control our country, well, their country. You control the
right,
whole country just by having some money. I don't think that's fair.
Power.
But that's
I mean,
it boils down to education and voting too, though.
yep.
yep,
That's all it is. When you break it all down, growing up, I said, one thing they used to always be in my ear. Uh, older people that were older than us used to always say things like wasting your time voting.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing gonna change. That's the main thing they used to get said. Ain't nothing gonna change. Which things have not changed, but things ain't as bad as it used to be either. So there's
right.
been some change. So think if we can just get more people to just get active with voting, we'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Yep.
But it's crazy how much of a fight it takes to get people to do the same thing that people back in the '60s were preaching to us to do.
Yeah.
Fighting for
You
it.
know?
People fought and died,
Yeah.
for the right to vote. And well, I didn't understand the severity of it at first either.
Hmm.
But I wish I had sooner. But now that I know and looking back, like man,
Yeah. Dr. Martin Luther King, he got bricks thrown at his face and everything. And
yeah,
I have y'all ever heard of Mississippi Burning?
yep.
Yep. Have you ever watched the movie?
I cannot watch the movie.
Hey, I don't blame you.
I cannot watch the movie. And there was another one. This guy, this guy told me about Rosewood.
Hmm.
I had started watching that, had to turn it off.
Yeah. Hey, I don't blame you, man. Um, it was very hard to watch Burning Mississippi
Yeah.
because those it was two white men and there was a black man. They were all activists, you know,
Yep.
just going around Mississippi getting people registered to vote. You know how Mississippi probably has the darkest histories of racism, to be honest with you.
Oh, we. Yeah.
Man,
And
when you enter Mississippi, you feel it. You can feel
yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah. And so you like the severity of that, you know, like that's why I'm also very hard on voting. Like I get people registered all the time to vote because you know you see how those three men died. You know, getting people registered to vote.
Hmm.
You know, they didn't say vote for this type, vote for that part. They weren't endorsing nobody. They were just getting people registered to vote. And the white conservatives down there in Mississippi, they were scared of that, so they killed her for it. And then there was also a black woman that was getting people registered to vote, and they beat her so bad they almost killed her. Fannie Lou Hamer.
Hmm. Yep.
Yep. So she was getting people registered to vote, and they beat her. They killed I forgot who it was, but he got killed in his driveway in front of his wife and children.
Dang.
Forgot the name, but he was a black activist getting people registered to vote as well. I think he was involved with the NAACP.
That's a different level of hate and evil and like okay, if you're a spiritual person, right?
Hmm.
You know certain things just can't be stopped.
Yeah.
Sometimes I struggle with what's allowed. You know, that's I don't question anything, but I struggle with having to accept it. And
Hmm.
I just wonder like what makes people hate so much the way you gotta take
Medgar Evers was his name.
take it take an innocent life.
Medgar.
Yeah, Medgar Evers was his name. He was a black civil rights activist who
Hmm.
was shot and killed in his driveway in Jackson, Mississippi on June 12th, 1963. A white supremacist, Byron Beckwith, ambushed him as he returned home from an NAACP meeting. So I was right about that. He was involved with the NAACP getting people registered to vote.
Vote.
Yep.
And how much time did Byron Beckwith get?
Uh,
10 years, probably.
If he got anything at all, you got to remember back in those times,
A life
he went
They-
free.
Huh?
they owned the system.
Yeah. Yeah, he went free.
He went free.
Went
Yeah.
free.
And basically the trial ended up how Emmett Till trial went.
Yep.
So
Yeah, they all walked.
Emmett Till, which is probably one of the most infamous ones.
yes.
Whatever her name was, she died a few years ago. The lady that claimed he supposedly whistled at her,
Yep.
she
She-
died just a few years ago.
Yeah, and she admitted that she lied.
Yeah.
Yep. And did they just give Emmett Till's family a settlement this year? This year or last year, they just gave him a settlement, which is fucking.
Yeah. But what is a settlement, man? You talking about decades of a wrongdoing and the loss of a child
Right.
over a complete utterly lie. And it's still crazy that to this day, you know, we are supposed to overlook it, forget about it,
Oh, there was no settlement actually.
move on. But we don't have to move on from the Holocaust.
Right.
We don't have to move on from 9/11. We don't have to move on from anything else. But why do we need to move on from slavery? Why do we need to move on from oppression and all the things that are still going on to this day?
The
Yeah,
son of
and I think it's important to uh, like learn about the Holocaust, but at the same time, they forced that on us more than anything else. Like when it came to the Trail of Tears, they didn't go into detail about that. They didn't go into detail
Yeah.
about Dr. Martin Luther King, his life. They just showed the sanitized version of Dr. Martin Luther. They didn't want to show you the end of him. You know, when he was starting to preach against capitalism, where he was starting to preach against wars, like he was against the Vietnam War. And they don't teach you Malcolm X at all because
At all.
Isn't it
he
crazy
was
how we can remember a lot about the Holocaust, but you don't remember nothing in school teaching you about the most important things that didn't happen in America?
right.
You know, they also want you to know a lot about what Pearl Harbor, fucking the Civil Wars. I'm like, well, what's going on
All of
here?
those things
Right
that
here.
had nothing to do with us.
Yeah, and they don't even go into detail about the Civil War too.
Oh yeah,
They don't
They
want.
only
They wanna keep-
everything is in those textbooks is just what they want you to know, which is
Yeah.
what's basic in
Yeah.
general.
They don't want to. They don't want to tell these young kids that black people fought their way out of freedom, because that's what they did. They were fighting their way out of freedom long before the Civil War.
And
And
also, black people were flying the fighter planes. They don't really
Yeah.
think about that. How they also injected all the black people with STDs. Like, there's a lot that goes with it, man. Like,
yeah,
when I be finding out stuff like that, I just like I gotta like block it out of my brain. I keep it in my memory bank, but I don't know. I just like it brings me back to that question, like why is the hate so bad when it comes to skin tone? It's all skin tone.
yeah,
We all got the same color blood.
yeah. And they'll talk about slavery a little bit, but they won't talk about the whole thing. They won't talk about Nat Turner at all either.
No.
They don't want the backlash. They don't want to, you know, especially with these new YNs. If they get to hearing it, you know,
Yeah.
some just might in the classroom anyway. You know, so I feel them now, but when we were growing up, I feel like it should have been expressed. It should have been expressed more and thought about more detailed. You know, just give us the brutal truth, the brutal truth.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think, excuse me, and I think more. I think Malcolm X
Abraham
is.
Lincoln.
Yeah, I think Malcolm X is just was just as integral and was should be just as glorified as Martin Luther King because of his fight and his message. We should just like we got a Martin Luther King Day, we should have a Malcolm X Day.
You don't think he is?
Huh?
You don't think he is?
Who?
You said Malcolm X, right?
Yeah, I said he is. He was just as influential and integral
of course.
as Martin Luther King, and just like we have an MLK Day, we should have a Malcolm X Day.
Right, but you know Malcolm X never rebelled.
Yeah. But
the armed forces of America, but Malcolm X did.
but since you know what, you know that he was I'm not gonna say extremist, but he wasn't about that. I'm turning my other cheek. You know, he was about that. You know, if you slap me, I'm gonna slap you back.
Right, and he actually used his rights. If you've been honest, he exercised his rights.
And he was with that, you know, by any means necessary. And, you know, that was his message. And I think that message and what he stood for and fought and died for was just as influential. And it's sad that a lot of black people don't even know who Malcolm X is or what he did and how he played a part in black equality.
No lie.
Because it wasn't until
I'm a part of.
Yeah, because
I got some kids right now. I ask them who they are, and they won't be able to give you an answer.
Yeah, and are you like we've been saying this whole time, education. If you go back, man, and educate yourself, I every now and then I pull up I go on YouTube and I listen to uh, some of his old speeches. You know, especially the Ballot and the Bullet speech. I listen to him speaking and teaching and preaching, and that's why I said his message was just as influential and was just as a bigger part of the movement than Martin Luther King's and anybody else's. Um, but it's sad that he's basically shunned, if you ask me, you know, from being at the forefront of that movement because of what he stood for and what he spoke about.
Right.
And it's not right.
Right. And I also disagree with the point that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. And that's because Lincoln said, he said this in his letter, and I quote, "If I could save the Union without freeing any slave, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing all slaves, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing some and leaving others alone, I would also doing that. I would also do that." See, when it came to Lincoln, he didn't really feel some type of way when it came to these conservatives and the Confederates. Like, you could already tell he didn't want to free slaves in his heart, because he admitted in his letter that if he didn't have to free a single slave, he would do it. But he had the only reason
Yeah, he had to.
the only reason why he had to do it is because they were losing the war, and then he was exploiting slaves to win the war. He had to use black bodies to win the Civil War. So that's why I don't believe he freed anybody. I believe that black people freed themselves, because at the same time, black people did see a chance to free themselves. Like, you go fight for Lincoln, you know,
Here's our turn.
yeah, he'll set you free, and then of course 2 years later, you still had slavery going on, you know.
Yep.
Like Juneteenth, like there were some black people that didn't realize that they were free until 2 years later. And then another good point is that Lincoln didn't punish the Confederates. You know, he allowed them after the Civil War was won by the Union allowed the Confederates, the Southern Confederates, to crawl back right into power and politics. They could be able to make their own laws and stuff like that. And that's how Jim Crow came about. So it's like Lincoln didn't free anybody, because they tried to further us into slavery with the Jim Crow laws.
And
Still got
yeah. And so so the whole so the whole 40 acres and a mule thing, which was promised to black people back in their time, but reneged upon by the man that sits on the $20 bill, Andrew Jackson. So
that was Johnson. It was Johnson. Yeah, it was Johnson. It was way before Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, so that's where and you know, when I remember when I was little, you used to hear people say 40 acres and a mule, 40 acres and a mule.
Way after Andrew Jackson, but yeah.
And I always wondered where that term came from, and then one day I just looked it up.
Yeah, it was the
whole 40 acres and a mule thing.
It was a promise that Lincoln made after he freed the slaves.
Yeah,
but you know, he got assassinated.
Ever documented or in signed? Nothing. None of that was ever documented and signed, was it? The 40 acres and a mule.
No, it's documented. It was a promise.
It like after the slaves were supposedly freed, they were supposed to get 40 acres of land and a mule.
Yeah, and the reason why Reconstruction stopped is because Lincoln passed away. You know, he had a racist vice president next to him. I think it was Andrew Johnson.
I was about to say Lyndon B. Johnson.
Yeah, it was Andrew Johnson.
Yeah, it was Johnson. I thought it was Jackson, but it was actually Johnson.
Oh, it was way after Jackson. Jackson is a racist president too. Hey, he owned slaves. He led into the indigenous genocide. He did all kind of things.
Mm.
So yeah, it was Andrew Johnson that stripped that away.
Yep. So they got freed, but you know the pardon gift was reneged upon.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yep.
But I think that's about all I got, man. For me, I I went- it's very educative. I learned some new things. And, I got a, I got you gave me something to do. 1619 project. So I'm gonna look forward to looking into that. I really appreciate that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Very bright young man, man. You got a bright
Yeah,
future. Yeah.
I appreciate that. And I remember your question that you asked. My message is that we don't need to beg the system to love us. You know, we need to build power to give love to ourselves. You know, we need to be able to organize with education.
Hmm.
So that's basically my message.
Got you. That's a
Yeah.
powerful
Yeah,
So basically, not begging the system and just forcing the system to know that we can be independent
hmm
in everything.
and education is the foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Because
Without it,
black black liberation isn't about begging the system to treat us right. It's about realizing this system was never built for us in the first place. You know,
Right.
because we've been waiting for too long for justice from people who profit off of our labor, off of our oppression. And liberation means power, and power to
talking that,
control our. Yeah.
you you talking that shit now, young man. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
I use curse.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You good. You good. Yeah, you good.
That was a good
And
one. That was some good ones, man. But you have
so,
any? Uh, this is what at this part of the segment we have what we call final thoughts. Um, Final thoughts basically is anything you want to just get off your chest and whatever you want to say to conclude the episode, basically. So I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna let Dom go. Dom, final thoughts.
uh Man, it was definitely educational. Um, it was definitely, I mean, we've touched on subjects like this, but it was definitely something different.
mhm,
But like Rose said, the content that we put out and the things that we try to implement and do, um, it probably does fall on deaf ears because of the message and the content that we put out. Nobody
yep,
wants to hear the truth. Nobody wants to hear, you know, this type of talk because they don't care. The ones that do, of course, they're gonna tune in, but and take it and run with it. But the ones that don't. But I mean, the message you pushing and being active in the community and doing all the stuff that you're doing, man, especially at a young age,
mhm,
I think is a good sign.
Yeah.
yep. I appreciate
So,
that. I
so any
feel like
final thoughts? Or
I
is
feel
it
like
K Sun? Kason.
it's case on.
Okay, okay. So I've been saying it
Yeah,
right. Huh?
yeah. You've been saying it right.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
So my final thoughts is that this was a good episode. You know, y'all invited me up here to spread my message and everything like
Hmm.
that to your audience, and then I'll be sure to clip out some things so I can share on my platform where y'all be in on YouTube and things like that. And I would say that it was educational because I learned some new things as well. And my final touch on here is that the system fear a united black community, you know,
Right.
because they know we're unstoppable when we love ourselves and move together. Because I feel like what's holding the black community back as of right now is that we don't value each other,
Yeah.
you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
like when we realize that this isn't about hate, that it's about freedom, real freedom, not freedom crumbs that they try to give us, then we can be able to value each other and learn together, and then spread our message together when it comes to Black liberation.
Yep.
Yep. So that's basically all I have.
For me, um, Black people, I just think, man, no matter how much we sit up here and beef with each other, it's always a way out of it. It's always a way to just like make life better. It's always a way
Yeah.
to make life better for us. Man, we can really take over this whole country if we do it the right way.
Yeah.
Like we've been saying this whole episode, it starts with education. For the ones who don't believe in education, this ain't for you. You know, I'm just gonna be straight honest and blunt about it. But for the ones who are educated enough already to want more education, please get it. Please do so. The way this country is going right now, they are trying to force our hand and basically
Mhm.
force us to accept what's being put on us.
Yep.
And if we don't fight back like they did back in the day, we just going back into slavery all over again.
Yeah.
You know, so I salute everything you doing at 22 years old, K-Son.
Yep.
You are the future. Just know that, like, you are the future, and you can and most likely will be one of those Martin Luther King's, Malcolm X's, without the assassination part of it. You know, the message you pushing is basically the same message 60 years later. You know, and it's crazy that it's
Mhm.
that many years later and we still pushing the same.
Trying to push that same message.
Yep.
You know, it's just on a less violent level, I would say. Because back then they were really just knocking us off and not getting any consequences to it. You
Right.
know, now everything is on camera. You gotta hold people accountable, and they still got something to get away with it. You
Yep.
know, but man, my final thoughts is, man, love thy neighbor, do better by thy neighbor, especially when thy neighbor is the same skin tone as you.
Right.
That's my message. Um, that's all I got, man. Anything else before we tap out of here?
Oh man, we appreciate having you on. Appreciate you coming on, man,
You're always
and
welcome
doing the
back.
episode with us, man.
If
For sure.
if you ever see a topic run across our social media platforms that you want to speak on, man, just hit Dom up, hit us up, man. You're always welcome back to push out whatever it
Yep.
is
Yep.
you push out. Whether you write a book, because I feel like you look like the type that can write a whole book and get that thing going, man. So if you ever write a book, send it to me. I'm buying it. I want to be the first buyer for Respect My Mind, the podcast.
For sure.
sure,
Appreciate
man.
that.
So yeah, man. This is Respect My Mind. I'm the host, Rolando, signing out with my co-host Dom and our special
Yes,
guest,
sir.
Respect My Mind. We gotta come in before. You're
What was
welcome,
that?
CC. She just be the cancerous tumor, man. Shout out to you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to
Shout
you.
out.
Congratulations on your success fighting that
That's
battle.
great.
You know.
Yep.
But Respect My Mind, y'all. We out. Peace.
Next time.
Respect My Mind is the men's mental health podcast that keeps it real. Hosted by Rose Small.